Welcome back to Cheap Lazy Vegan and another what I ate in a day video. The one thing that I try to do all the time is make my meals as balanced as possible. I always try to focus on making sure that there is a carb source, plant-based protein source, and some vegetables. The fat portion I'm not as concerned with because I just feel like I naturally get, enough fats throughout the day. But of course, I do try to incorporate some healthy fats into my diet as well. Hopefully this video will give you some ideas on how to make sure your meals are as balanced as you can. Obviously, again, this is realistic. I'm not trying to make a perfect meal here. I'm just trying to make meals that are generally satisfying and satiating and delicious. But before we jump in, I have a message from our lovely sponsor, Peak. So I've been looking for a coffee alternative, not because I'm quitting coffee, but because I'm trying to reduce my intake. And I also find that in the afternoon, I need some sort of an energy boost, but coffee is too much. If I drink coffee, I can't sleep at night. It really messes with my sleep. So I was looking for an alternative so I could drink something else throughout the day. So one thing I've been loving and incorporating is Peak's Sun Goddess Matcha. I love the taste of this matcha green tea. Plus, there are so many amazing benefits, and these come in individually packed powder form, which makes it really, really easy and convenient. All you have to do is add it to some hot water or cold water, and it's ready to go. This provides slow release caffeine, giving me sustained energy without any coffee jitters or crashes. Plus, the Sun Goddess Matcha is shaded for longer for more chlorophyll and more antioxidants. These ingredients are both fantastic for your skin. It helps firm, brighten, and clarify your skin, making you all beautiful, And I've been loving the Radiant Skin Duo, which includes the Sun Goddess Matcha and their BT Fountain, which is a hydrating and repairing beauty electrolyte. This contains hyaluronic acid and minerals that help your body absorb water more effectively, keeping you super hydrated and plump. The BT ceramides are also clinically proven to increase skin hydration and elasticity while visibly reducing lines and dullness. Peak's products are made with the highest quality and purest ingredients for maximized benefits and bioavailability. And right now they're offering you 20% off of the Radiant Skin Duo along with a free rechargeable frother and a free glass beaker. Once again, that's 20% off of the Radiant Skin Duo with the link below. So make sure you check them out, you guys. And thank you so much to Peak for sponsoring today's video.
I am definitely a savory tooth rather than a sweet tooth. So even for breakfast, I often like to have something savory. And this morning I was craving a soup. So I'm actually making a sort of seaweed miso soup. So I am soaking some dried seaweed and some dried shiitake mushrooms with some water. I'm going to do that for about 20 minutes. And after the 20 minutes, you'll see that the seaweed has expanded because now it's no longer dry. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to strain it, keep everything, okay? Keep the liquid, keep the seaweed and the mushrooms because we're going to use it all. So into a pot, I am going to heat up a little bit of toasted sesame oil, and then we're just going to quickly sort of stir fry the soaked seaweed and the soaked shiitake mushrooms. And I'm also just going to cut up the mushrooms and the seaweed a little bit with some scissors because I forgot to do it earlier, okay? And then we're just going to cook it a little bit with the sesame oil just for a little while, and then we're going to add that broth back in. The broth being the water that was soaking up the seaweed and the mushrooms. And then we're going to bring this to a boil, and while it's coming to a boil, I'm going to take some miso paste in a bowl. I'm going to add some of that broth in there once it's warmed up, and then just kind of break apart that miso paste, mix it up so that it becomes thinner. In the meantime, I'm going to cook up some soba noodles because I'm having a soba noodle soup, which is delicious. I've let the seaweed and the mushrooms boil in that water for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then you want to turn the heat down to a low so that it's simmering, not boiling anymore. And then you want to add in that miso. Okay, so we're gonna add in that miso. We're also gonna add in some soy sauce. I'm actually using soup soy sauce, but you can use regular soy sauce, whatever you want, okay? And then I actually forgot to add the tofu earlier, but it's no big deal. I'm adding in some very soft tofu, okay? Also known as extra soft tofu. This stuff is delicious, and of course that's gonna add that protein element into this meal, making this meal more satisfying and filling. And once those soba noodles were cooked, I just drained it and I just added it straight into that pot. And there you go. There is the soba noodle soup with some seaweed, some tofu, some mushrooms. There are so many different awesome ingredients in this soup. Seaweed is full of iodine, vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, and shiitake mushroom, of course, has so many benefits. It boosts your immune system. It's high in antioxidants, rich in natural vitamin D. Miso paste is fantastic for your gut health, and of course, is packed full of nutrients. So yeah, while other people may think this is a weird breakfast, this is actually a superior breakfast in my eyes, okay? And after breakfast, I made myself a matcha instead of coffee. Yes, aren't you proud of me? I'm having the Sun Goddess matcha. I'm just mixing it with some hot water. And of course, this is very comforting and satisfying and soothing. And there are so many benefits to matcha. Okay, one of them including it is full of antioxidants. It's great for your skin. And of course, this tastes really good as well. And we are on to lunch. And guys, I have an obsession with tempeh. The very first time I tried tempeh, I was like, what is this? And I did not like it, but the more I eat it, the more I am obsessed with it. And I do think it is an acquired taste, but once it's acquired, it's never going away, my friends. Okay, so tempeh, if you didn't know, is a fermented soy product. So it's made with fermented soybeans, and I like to call it like a less processed version of tofu, but I would say it's very different from tofu in terms of taste and texture and everything. It has a slight fermented taste. I would say it's slightly, I don't want to say sour, but the first time you eat it, you might think it's a bit sour. It's so good. The more I eat it, it tastes nutty and savory, and I love it so much. Okay, so if you feel like you don't like tempeh, keep giving it a try, because I think you're gonna love it. It's higher in protein than tofu. It is probiotic rich, it's fiber rich, and just so good for your health as well. So as you've seen, I just cut the tempeh up into very small pieces and I stir fried it with some store-bought teriyaki sauce. We're keeping it simple, guys, okay? You don't have to make everything from scratch. Let's be realistic here, okay? I also chopped up some cabbage, lots of cabbage, I should say, and sliced up some onions, and of course, minced some garlic, and we're gonna make a nice noodle stir fry. Okay, so we're just gonna heat up a small amount of oil on a pan, and in the meantime, I'm gonna make my PB2 sauce. So PB2 is powdered peanut butter, which, as the name suggests, is the powdered form of peanut butter. It's lower in calories, lower in fat, and higher in protein than regular peanut butter. I wouldn't say it's superior to regular peanut butter, and I still use and eat regular peanut butter because I do think it tastes better. But for sauces like this, I often use PB2 because it still tastes great and it cuts the calories a little bit. So I will have the link to the PB2 dressing recipe below, so definitely check that out. It's really delicious, and I use it often for stir fry sauce or just on top of like a Buddha bowl or something like that. After I made the sauce, all I did was saute the onion and garlic with some oil, and then I added that cabbage and then the udon noodles, which I soaked in hot water, so it should break apart easily. If you buy those udon noodles in those individual packages, the noodles are basically already cooked and you essentially just have to heat it up, okay? So once it's in some hot water or you boil it for like a couple minutes, it should break apart really easily. So I love eating udon noodles because A, it's delicious, and B, it's really, really easy to make because it's already basically cooked and you just have to heat it up essentially. So again, very simple, very lazy. So as you've seen, I've added the udon noodles in there, I've added the sauce, and now I'm adding that tempeh, which has some teriyaki sauce in it, so that's gonna also add some flavor. And there you go, there's my tempeh peanut udon stir fry random meal. I love making meals like this, and even though it is random, as you've seen, it's quite balanced in my eyes. We've got the carbs from the udon noodles, we have the protein from the tempeh and the PB2, and of course we've got veggies in there in the form of cabbage. I'm adding some sesame seeds here on top, and there you have it. There is my lunch, absolutely delicious, and highly recommend trying that PB2 dressing. It is so good and easy to make. And for an afternoon snack, a high protein afternoon snack, I added some vegan protein powder into some soy milk, and I'm just gonna have some cereal. And this is my little cereal hack to make it higher in protein, more filling, more satisfying, is just add some protein powder into the milk of choice. Of course, I always use plant milk. I simply make myself a little protein shake with the plant milk in a protein shaker cup, and then I add it to the cereal, making it more filling, more satisfying, more satiating, and it's just a better way to eat cereal in my opinion. And for dinner, to celebrate the beginning of soup season, I'm making another soup. This time I'm making lasagna soup. My friends, have you ever tried lasagna soup? It's delicious. As you've seen, for my protein source, this time I'm using red split lentils, and I just simply boiled some water and I'm just letting the red split lentils soak with the boiling water while I dice some onions and mince some garlic. As you can see, I'm out of minced garlic. I usually have tons of minced garlic just ready to go because of my garlic hack, but I haven't done that hack in a while, which is why I have to mince garlic. Ugh. Anyway, if you guys want to see my garlic hack, so you can always have minced garlic available, I'll link my garlic hack video below. So I cooked up the diced onions and the garlic in a big wok because I can't find my Dutch oven. Don't know where it is. I think it's at my parents'. Anyways, I'm taking some dry lasagna noodles and I'm just breaking them apart. This is a great thing to make when you have a bunch of lasagna noodles just broken up in your box. You know what I'm talking about? But even if you don't, you can just break it up yourself. Okay? I know. Genius. So into the wok or pot or whatever you're using, I'm adding a large can of tomatoes. You can use diced tomatoes, you can use crushed tomatoes. I think I'm using crushed tomatoes here. So I'm gonna add that along with some water and some vegetable bouillon. And I'm also gonna add some Italian seasoning and garlic powder, some of my favorite spices. And then, you know those red split lentils that we soaked? I strained them and I rinsed them and I'm adding them into the pot along with some frozen mixed veggies, because we gotta get some veggies in there, okay? And we're gonna bring that to a boil. And once that mixture comes to a boil, we're gonna add those broken up lasagna noodles and just let that cook. And while that's cooking, I'm also gonna prepare some veggie balls or vegan meatballs in the air fryer. These are just store-bought frozen vegan meatballs that just quickly heat up in the air fryer, so yay for me. Once the lasagna noodles have cooked, I like to add a little bit of lemon juice, which will really bring out the flavors, and I do that before adding any additional salt and pepper because lemon juice itself will really bring out the flavor. So oftentimes you don't need to add as much salt and pepper. So there's a little hack for you, and there you go. There is the soup. I'm gonna top with the veggie meatballs, which actually went really well with this soup. So if you do have some veggie balls on hand, I do recommend adding them into your lasagna soup. And if you want the lasagna soup recipe, I'll link it below, guys. I already have it on my blog. And once again, here's another very balanced meal. We have the carbs from the lasagna, we've got protein from the lentils as well as the veggie meatballs, and we've got some vegetables. Delicious.
Alright you guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And once again, thank you so much to Peak for sponsoring today's video. Like I mentioned, you can right now get 20% off of the Radiant Skin Duo, and you get a free glass beaker and a free frother. Again, the 20% off link is down below. Thank you so much to Peak for sponsoring today's video, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!